All right, this is section 12.4, and today we're going to talk about volume of prisms and cylinders. And we have a few different prisms on our formula card, and that's what I'm going to show you next. So we have got, just covering up what we don't need. So we have got a triangular prism, and every prism has the same base formula. So it is a capital B that stands for area of the base, and then times height of the prism. And then I broke it out and kind of made it be what it would for each one of these shapes. So this is a triangular prism, so it starts off with the triangle base, we need that area, and then the height of the prism, so that would be like this height. And then for a rectangular prism, we would need the rectangular base, so that base and height, so maybe like this bottom base and height, and then height of the prism. And then for an n-gon, pentagon, hexagon, that kind of stuff, we need our 1/2 ANS formula, so that's your base, that's this guy, and then we need height of the prism. And last we have cylinders, which are in the same kind of shape format of a prism, and so they start with area of the base, which is a circle, right there, and then times height of the prism. So those are our 4 different formulas for prisms and cylinders. So first one we got is a cylinder, and we're going to do its volume. The surface area formula is quite a bit more complicated. Volume is, I think you're going to be happy, it's way easier. So volume of a cylinder should be pi r squared, and then times height of the prism or the cylinder. So we've got pi, and our r is 4. And then our height of our prism is 7. Remember, even if it's oblique, even if it's tilted, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa here, the height is just from bottom to top, however tall that happens to be for us at 7, and it doesn't actually affect your volume at all. So even if you tilt the prism, it doesn't affect what your final answer would be. So one answer, if your calculator keeps things in pi, one answer would be 112 pi centimeters. These are cubed now because we're doing volume. And if you are doing the decimal version of this, then you would have about 350.86 centimeters cubed, and then I wrote a squared. Next up, we've got a triangular prism. Now these ones always seem to be the ones that mess kids up. So the first part of your triangular prism formula says 1/2 and base times height, but this is of the triangle base. So don't go looking for the height of the prism. We just want to focus on the triangle. So I'm just going to focus on the triangle right here. I'm going to trace it, outline it, and then if I were to draw that, it would look something like this. It's got a right angle in it, and I have a 9. So when I do my volume formula, and it's 1/2 base times height, and this is of my triangle, then it's times height of the prism. And those are different heights. Those won't be the same. So the base and height of my triangle are 9 and 5. And the height of my prism is 8. So my prism is 8 meters tall. So we'll type that one in. I suggest 2.5 for half so that it doesn't get typed in incorrectly. Sometimes with the 1/2, if you don't have the parentheses in the right spot, it messes you up. So use a 0.5 instead. Looks like this one's 180 meters cubed. One more. Got a rectangular prism, and that formula on your formula card starts out with the base, the area of the base, so base times height, and this would be the rectangle on the bottom, and then times height of the prism. The nice thing about a rectangular prism is it doesn't matter which order you put these in. You pretty much just need one of each number, one each time. So do 8 times 4 times 5, and we get about 160 get out of the way, yards cubed. So those are your volume formulas for today. Prisms and cylinders, again, quite a bit easier than surface area, but make sure you do have your formula card filled out with the top 4 boxes.